Hello, Internet. My name is Alana Delaney. Today I'm going to be discussing my ethics final project. My group worked on the topic of global health, and my subtopic for a case study was on diseases worldwide. And I also did my case study analysis on healthcare worldwide, which was done by Alexei. Now, to begin with my case study, I learned quite a lot. To begin my research, I started with diseases that are eradicated in the first world, countries such as the United States, Canada, and the majority of Europe, but are still rampant in developing countries, namely in sub-Saharan Africa. One disease that is still a huge problem in parts of the world is measles. Measles is a non-problem in countries like the US thanks to the introduction of vaccines, but in developing countries, the death toll from measles was about 164,000 in 2008, and this statistic was unfortunately mostly children. Now, measles did not make any mainstream media coverage despite its high death toll because no one in America or first world countries are really concerned about the disease. No one's really worried about catching measles. However, several epidemics have made the news, the frontrunner being AIDS and HIV. HIV and AIDS is the most covered disease by media, and that's because it can be contracted by anyone. Even when taking proper precautions during sex, which is mainly what people are concerned about, infected blood contact can and does occur. However, the plague in Africa was only brought to mainstream media attention after HIV and AIDS were both labeled national security threats to the United States. Although HIV and AIDS are imminent health threats to the United States, as well as other first world countries with proper health care, the majority and overwhelming majority of deaths occur in Africa. Every day, 6,000 people die of AIDS complications, and 11,000 are infected with the HIV virus. In 2008, there were 33.4 million people living with AIDS around the world, and this is mostly concentrated in sub-Saharan Africa. Though there are other diseases such as malaria and Ebola that are also huge concerns for life in first world countries, the most predominant disease that we should be worried about, and that is completely preventable in most cases, is cardiovascular disease. Cardiovascular diseases are the world's #1 killer, and in 2005 they accounted for 30% of the world's deaths. And this is one of the few diseases that are concentrated in first world countries where obesity, overeating, and unhealthy lifestyles are predominant, though obviously there are some that occur in other countries and other parts of the world as well. Now, for my analysis, I analyzed Alexei's case study on healthcare worldwide, and I connected a lot of the points made to Karl Marx in his theory about the bourgeoisie and the proletariat classes. Now, because most healthcare and pharmaceutical products are created in capitalist countries, healthcare and treatments for disease are treated as consumer products. Only people who can pay for them can get them. Now, even in rich countries, middle class and poorer families can still be driven into debt by the high cost of medical bills. However, in developing countries where diseases like AIDS, malaria, and measles are running rampant, people have little to no access to health care unless it is presented to them by associations such as the Red Cross or Doctors Without Borders. Now, Marx pointed out that the proletariat has the capability of overthrowing the bourgeoisie class if they choose to do so, but by keeping the proletariat sick and unable to access the health care they need to become stronger, they cannot fight, and keeping these people in a helpless situation is exactly what the bourgeoisie want. Now, those were just some of the things that really stood out to me about my final project. I hope you enjoyed me talking about them. I did learn a lot from this project about the difference between healthcare and the way that diseases are dealt with from country to country, and from economic system and economic prosperity, economic disparity, etc. It was definitely very interesting and eye-opening and important to learn about, so I thank you for that. I hope you enjoyed, and have a wonderful evening or day or whatever. Just enjoy your time.